he's an asshole. Or he's the greatest guy, he'll give you the shirt off his back. So they both can be right. Because I give what you get. Or what you give, or to me, I'll give you back. So am I racist? Yeah, I'm racist against assholes. I don't like them. I could care less about the color of your skin. We all bleed the same color.
The controversy surrounding the fatal stabbing case involving Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony has taken an explosive new turn. What began as a criminal case has now evolved into a bitter public battle filled with accusations, online outrage, and growing claims of racial division. And now, some of the most controversial comments yet are placing both families under an intense national spotlight. In recent interviews and online discussions, Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, made a series of remarks that immediately sparked backlash across social media.
This was never about race. Please don't make it about race and don't politicize it. And what did you do? You chose both. The race card, black fatigue, it's real. I'm sorry. You have embarrassed your own culture and race. Don't get me wrong, we got a lot of people that embarrass the shit out of me too. But you guys, you got a patent on that shit. And the only people that's going to change it are you. Don't blame the white person because we can't change it. But you're going to blame the white person for every fucking thing else. We're the bad ones. We're the one that held you down. Guess what? You can do everything in America that I can do. Tell me one thing you can't do that I can't do. We all have equal rights. What's it say? All men are created equal.
Critics accused him of using inflammatory language, while supporters argued that his comments reflected the frustration of a grieving father who believes justice has not been fully served. The reaction was immediate. Clips spread across TikTok, YouTube, and X, generating millions of views and igniting fierce debates about race, accountability, and the limits of public discourse following a high-profile tragedy. But this controversy goes far beyond a few viral soundbites. Because at the center of this story is a deeper question. Has a criminal case now become a cultural and political battlefield? Throughout the proceedings, both families have publicly insisted that the case should not be viewed through a racial lens. However, according to reports and statements circulating online,
we see that. You're not going to do shit with a man. And we see that. But you're not going to do shit with a man.
I'm not going to do shit with anybody, fuckhead.
That's weak. Fuckhead. 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 That's weak. You cannot do shit with a man.
Accusations of racial bias have continued to surface from supporters on both sides. Some commentators claim the media coverage has been unfair. Others argue that public sympathy has been selectively distributed. And as emotions continue to rise, every new interview seems to create another wave of controversy. One of the most debated moments came when discussions surrounding the jury composition began circulating online. Various social media users made conflicting claims about who served on the jury, leading to heated arguments across multiple platforms. Those disputes only added fuel to an already explosive situation. Meanwhile, supporters of the Anthony family have continued to defend Karmelo Anthony's actions and legal arguments, while critics maintain that the sentence itself remains deeply controversial. The result? A case that was once confined to a courtroom has transformed into a nationwide argument playing out in real time across the internet. And as public opinion becomes increasingly polarized, one thing is becoming clear. This may no longer be just about the verdict, it's about who controls the narrative. And that battle is only beginning.
The First Amendment protects free speech. I'm for it. Free speech doesn't guarantee you safety. Perfect example. Charlie Kirk, a man who I admired, looked up to. You know why? Because he could fight with words and logic. He didn't need fists, guns, or knives. No. He sat down and talked with you. How do you solve any situation when there's a problem? Communication. Charlie was an expert. That's one person, I admit, I would not want to debate. He was a walking chat GPT.
As the public debate intensified, attention began shifting away from the courtroom itself and toward the families involved. And that's where the controversy became even more explosive. In a series of interviews and public appearances, members of both families found themselves at the center of intense scrutiny. Statements made on podcasts, live streams, and social media quickly became viral talking points, generating millions of views and sparking fierce reactions from supporters and critics alike. What was once a criminal case was now becoming a public relations war. Supporters of Austin Metcalf's family argued that they were navigating unimaginable grief while facing online harassment and threats. According to public statements, family members claimed they had received hostile messages after speaking out about the case. At the same time, supporters of Karmelo Anthony argued that the public narrative surrounding their family had become unfairly one-sided. The result was a growing cycle of accusation and counter-accusation. Every interview seemed to produce another headline. Every viral clip created another wave of outrage, and every statement appeared to deepen the divide between opposing sides. Particularly controversial were comments regarding race and public perception. Various online commentators accused different figures involved in the case of politicizing the tragedy.
When a man walked up, what did you do? You you crossed your arms, but you aren't going to approach a woman like that. You're not going to approach a woman like that. Hold up! Hold up! Hold up! You only got in a woman's face, but when a man walked up, what did you do?
Carmelo's important. That's the crazy part. Yeah. This is our white people moved him from over here. He came over separated. Let's separate. He came over here and antagonized. That's what he came from over here. With that bullshit law and if they do something, they trying to, that's what they want to do.
While others argued that racial issues had already become inseparable from the public discussion, social media platforms became flooded with competing interpretations. Some users viewed certain remarks as expressions of grief and frustration. Others viewed those same remarks as inflammatory and deeply problematic. The disagreement was so intense that even neutral observers struggled to separate fact from opinion. Meanwhile, another issue was beginning to attract attention: the sentencing. For many observers, the punishment handed down in court immediately became the next battleground. Critics of the sentence argued that justice had not been fully served. Supporters maintained that the court had followed the law and evaluated the evidence presented during the proceedings. Legal analysts pointed out that emotional reactions and legal standards are often two very different things, and that distinction can create enormous public frustration. A sentence that satisfies the legal system does not always satisfy the court of public opinion. For Austin's family, public statements suggested continuing dissatisfaction with the outcome. For Anthony's supporters, criticism of the sentence was viewed by some as an unwillingness to accept the verdict. Neither side appeared willing to back down. And as the conflict expanded beyond the courtroom, another troubling development emerged. Online investigators, commentators, and influencers began digging into the backgrounds of people connected to the case. Old records, past controversies, and personal histories became subjects of public discussion. Allegations were exchanged, claims were challenged, and accusations of misinformation started spreading in every direction. Some observers warned that the situation was beginning to resemble a full-scale reputation crisis for everyone involved, not because of what happened in court, but because of what was happening afterward. The internet had effectively turned the tragedy into an ongoing spectacle, and in that environment, facts, emotions, and political narratives often collide. Now, legal experts are raising an important question. When a criminal case evolves into a nationwide cultural controversy, who actually wins? Because while the courtroom proceedings may be over, the battle for public opinion appears far from finished. And the next chapter could prove even more damaging than the trial itself. As the dust from the sentencing began to settle, a new battle was already taking shape, not inside a courtroom, but online. What followed was a wave of reaction videos, live-stream debates, podcasts, and social media commentary that transformed the case into something much larger than the original criminal proceedings. Every statement was dissected, every interview was analyzed, every appearance generated another round of headlines. And with each passing day, the public conversations seemed to become more polarized. Some commentators argued that the media had failed to present the full picture. Others claimed that influencers and online personalities were selectively highlighting information that supported their preferred narrative. The result was an information war where competing versions of the same story were being presented to millions of viewers. Legal experts often warn that high-profile cases can create a dangerous gap between legal reality and public perception. Courtrooms operate on evidence, procedure, and established legal standards. The internet operates on emotion, outrage, and viral momentum. And when those two worlds collide, controversy can take on a life of its own. For the families involved, the consequences may continue long after the legal proceedings have ended. Public scrutiny can follow individuals for years. Comments made during moments of grief or frustration can be replayed indefinitely. Online accusations, whether accurate or not, can become permanently attached to someone's reputation. That is why some analysts believe the long-term impact of this case may extend far beyond the sentence itself. Questions about media coverage. Questions about public accountability. Questions about race, justice, and the influence of social media. Those debates show no signs of disappearing anytime soon. Meanwhile, supporters on both sides continue to argue passionately that the facts support their position. Critics continue to challenge those claims, and the broader public remains divided over what justice should have looked like in this case. What makes this story so unusual is that there appears to be no clear ending. The verdict has been delivered. The sentence has been imposed. Yet the controversy continues to grow. And perhaps that's because this case is no longer just about what happened on that day. It's about what happened afterward. The interviews, the reactions, the accusations, the public fallout, and the battle over how history will remember it all. Because years from now, people may not simply ask what happened inside the courtroom. They may ask how an already tragic case became one of the most emotionally charged and divisive public controversies in recent memory. And now, people are asking one terrifying question. Has the legal case ended, or is the fight over its legacy only just beginning? If you found this breakdown informative, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe the public debate surrounding this case has helped uncover important questions? Or has the controversy gone far beyond the facts presented in court? Let us know your perspective. And as always, stay informed, stay objective, and we'll see you in the next report.